Pretty good sport. Keep your applause going. Get ready to go to the next person to the stage. Give it up for Hey everyone, how are we? We having a good time? What a lovely audience. What a multinational audience. It's beautiful. I mean, the Americans withdrew. That's a first. Is there Americans still here? Anyone? No? Grant, I hate bombing in front of them because they usually retaliate. So let's look at some current affairs. I don't know if anyone saw Daniel Whiffen, the Olympics. Woo! He won a bronze and a gold. That's fantastic. You know, we were in here 2 weeks ago when the gold was won. This is a true story. And he won the gold, and I was sitting with someone, and I heard someone over saying, like, just to dedicate years of your life to be so good at something, the sacrifice you must make, like. I can't imagine what that would take. And I stood there thinking, like, what have I spent years of my life dedicating myself to in an attempt to get really good at it or just enjoy it? And the only answer I could think of was cocaine. So I suppose I've been whipping as long as he has. It's ruined my life. What else is in the news? The English are rioting, that's always fun. I was watching Sky News the other day, there was a lady there and she was saying, you know, they're setting fire to buildings, they're stealing valuables, this is not who we are. I mean, you're now just robbing your own house. It's funny here. I don't know, I'm kind of uptight when I get on stage, I get a bit of nervous energy. It's not even anxiety. Thank you to the Colombians who were here earlier on. They really saw me out. If you can't tell, I did have a bit of a problem with that stuff a while back. But one of my things is I tend to talk too much and I tend to drink too much, and it's a real problem. So I decided to start doing stand-up comedy, which has been a neck game. And this has happened for a while. I remember years ago, I was working down in the Brookhaven. It's like a day centre for people who are mentally unwell. And I was working as a security guard at the time, I know. And all I had to do was open the gate and close the gate. There was this guy who used to walk through, his name was Tom, and Tom was lovely, but Tom would only ask one question like 6 times a day. Tom would go, is fish good for you? Is fish good for you? And he'd come up to me and go, hi Dan, is fish good for you? And I would go, yeah Tom, fish is good for you. Best friendship I've ever had. One day I was hungover. Now my thing with hangovers is I want people to talk to me as if I'm acting normal. So Tom walked by me one day and he went, Dan, is fish good for you? And I went, yeah of course Tom, unless you had too much. And Tom said, there's now a middle-aged man crying in the middle of the road and a hungover 20-year-old shouting, fish is good for you! Fish is good for you! A nurse walked over and I don't think she knew who to take into care. I will say she walked up to me and she was like, what did you do? And I said, don't eat too much fish. And she said, why did you do that? And I said, I was just talking to him as if we were normal. And she goes, he's fucking not! And I was moved to a different side. Well, it was real funny. I teach kids now. I teach acting, speech and drama, that's fun. Kids are weird. I like to teach speech and drama, that's where the real fucking oddballs are. I was one of them. But I got the kid up there saying a poem, you know, he's standing there, slugs crawl through grass. And I'm just trying to make it, you've heard it. I'm just trying to make a living, so I'll turn at the end and turn to this 7-year-old and be like, oh, how about you say slugs? Slugs crawl, what the fuck am I doing with myself? And while I'm doing that, this kid will just come up behind me, let's say Susan, GDPR. Let's say Susan, will just come up behind me, fist cut. Oh, wait, I don't know if you noticed. I've noticed this with this bit, every kid I teach us scoliosis by default. This kid, this little tooth gremlin, comes up behind me and she's like, and I'm like, what have you got there? And she opens her hand up and sure, it's fucking teeth. It's always teeth. It's always teeth with kids. And it's like an unusual amount of teeth. It's too. In my opinion, no amount of teeth is the normal amount of teeth to have in your hand at any given time. So I'm like, oh, Susan, teeth. What are you going to do with the teeth, Susan? Okay, oh look, I've got a tissue here. How do you put the teeth in the tissue? You wrap them up, put them in your pocket, and fucking tooth fairy. You do that later on. Just fucks off. Just back to her seat. Just 2 teeth in a dream. But I've got a job to do, you know, an important job. So I turn around. Anyway, slugs crawl through grass, and I suddenly hear in the background, ew. I turn around and there's Susan with 2 teeth and a plastic bottle chasing around lots of students going, toothbrush. You know your life is going well when a big part of your job is going, hey Susan, enough for the teeth, yeah. I worked in the HSE office as well. And the weird thing, for any Americans that are still here, it's a health service that we have. You just walk in and shit works. But I worked in the comms office where shit never worked. I was there for the hacking scandal, I was there for COVID. Most of my calls, it was just up the road there was an old dental office, and I get a call from Oliver Bond going, can I get an appointment with a dentist? There's no dentist here. There hasn't been a dentist here in 10 years. Like, you have to go somewhere else to check your teeth. We'll check your fucking teeth now if I don't get an appointment to it. That was my day. The thing about working with adults is they're all so weird, but if it's not trained out, then they just become your boss. And there was this lady, we'll call her fucking Susan. Susan used to leave 3 smiley faces at the end of an email. And when you're dealing with threats from Oliver Bond, that's all that gets you through a day. And I used to help her with jobs around the office, and she'd say, thanks Dan, thanks for the help, kind regards Susan, 3 smiley faces. Thank you, Susan, thank you. But one day I was busy and I couldn't help her. And I said, sorry, I've got a lot of stuff here I need to set up for the press conferences for COVID, I'm too busy, I can't help you. And she replied, and she said, no worries Dan, that's fine, kind regards Susan. 2 smiley faces. Yeah. And I was like, this is just me, I'm overthinking it. And what? 3 smileys, 3 smileys, 3 smileys didn't help her, 2 smileys. What the fuck, Susan? What is going on here? 2 months went by at 2 smiley faces. 2 fucking months I sat there trying to help her. Oh, sorry, I don't need help right now. Thanks anyway, 2 smiley faces. Fuck, Susan! One day she was stuck for some help and I ran up 2 flights of stairs. I was like, yeah, no worries. No sooner than I was back down those 2 flights of stairs, I opened my emails. Hey Dan, thanks for the help, really appreciate it. Kind regards, Susan. 3 smiley faces. Now you might think, yeah, you're back there. I realised the lady tried to emotionally manipulate me with smiley faces. And the worst part is, it fucking worked. I sat there at my desk fucking, yes! Back in the 3 smiley club. That's why they call me the 3 smiley kids. Pavlov's dickhead, apparently. Anyway, that's my time, guys. If you've got instant, Dan does it funny. Thank you very much.
Hey, come on, one more time for Daniel Farrell. All right, first half.